Hello, welcome to the Dream Stream of Consciousness podcast. I'm Yiskah Koock, here
I'm,
with.
I'm Ellen Ronis.
I'm Andrew Kaminski.
So, what we have decided is we're going to keep on being a dream group, and we're going to make whatever level of commitment we will make to this group. And so, I want to start it in the tradition of our beloved deceased dream teacher Jeremy Taylor, who would say, start a dream group by going around and every person there can say one thing from their unconscious minds, from their dream life to share, and then we can delve deeper into a dream. So who would like to begin?
I can share. I had a dream last night. It's brief, but I was on a ship, a boat, and I was with a friend that I used to hang out with in a past chapter of my life. And we're in the lower deck of the boat, and I look out the window, and the waves are they're big waves. And I feel at first I thought the waves were going to be too big, but it seemed like the boat was stable. The boat was able to stay on the ocean. And but there was just very specific sort of imagery that was there that
Yes,
it could be archetypal to connect with.
thank you.
Yeah.
Ellen?
I've had so many dreams. I'm dreaming like a crazy person these days. I'm gonna pick. I have two possible ones. So my ex-husband Tim, who has come up a million times in dreams, who is now deceased, came to me as this very flamboyant gay man, which he was not in waking life, and he was with like this team of salon owners, and we were in a mall, and he was trying to come to me to say, oh, come get a service, we've got a free sample, but it was, big, tall, dark, like how he was, dark hair pulled back, but he was dressed in, sort of looking very gay. And then in another point, we're in sort of in another scenario, and we're in a hallway, and he keeps peeking behind doors, and he looks very maniacal, like he's got
Oh
this
my, okay.
maniacal smile, which is, not like him. And he's trying to convince me of something or put something on me, and I finally just get in his face and I say, enough.
Yeah.
Stop.
Wow. So I'm sorry to have to, I'm not sorry to say this, but this is very strong. Dr. Stephen Larson, another of our dream teachers, says dreams have Velcro. It's like I want to know more about that, maniacal face, flamboyant man, so we'll explore, as we were saying, a little bit later.
Yeah,
so all I can really recall, and this was weird, is I had a dream of a woman with like straight hair, kind of shoulder length, and I can't remember the context, strangely, but I remember kissing her on the mouth. And not that it was romantic or sexual or anything like that, it was like familiar, is all I could say about it. Okay, so that was our little dream check-in. And now who feels called to work on their dream? Ellen, is that cool with you, Andrew?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't necessarily know that this is going to take the whole time either, so I'm hoping there'll be space for other dreamers. Yeah. So, would you like me to say the dream again?
Yeah, I would. Thank you.
Tim comes to me I'm in a mall, like a shopping mall that reminds me of a mall that I used to, Long Island shopping malls, lots of stores indoors. And I'm by myself. He sort of comes to me from the side with a team of his sort of colleagues that feel like they work at a salon or a spa of some sort. And he's looking very tall and buff, and he's got his long hair and a ponytail, but he's got like products in his hand, and he's trying to convince me to set up an appointment at the spa or the salon, or give me samples of something, or he's trying to engage me to be, to come into their salon business and do something there. And then there's another scenario. I don't know how these two things connect, but it's the same dream, where we're in a hallway. Maybe it's like a back hallway of the mall somehow, the hall, and has doors, and maybe for storage or something like that. And he is sort of peeking out of these different doors, and kind of coming back and forth and peeking out of the doors. And he has this very maniacal smile that almost reminds me of the Joker.
Yeah.
Like from ear to ear, but it's like really creepy and very toothy, and and I don't know what he's really saying, but he's definitely trying to, like, it feels like he's trying to put something on me, like, or not physically put something on me, but tell me something or give me something, or give me advice or something. And I get in his face, and I just say, just stop it. I don't need this anymore. Just stop it. And but of course I'm wondering, what is he trying to say, and
Oh.
when I woke up from the dream, I felt very, like, it seemed obvious to me, and it may be very obvious, that I don't know what the maniacal, I mean, I am curious about that. Why did he come to me in those forms?
Mhm.
In the form of that sort of gay man that with the salon, and he's trying to engage
Yeah.
with some salon treatments, or this maniacal being. I'm very curious about that aspect of it. But the getting in his face and saying stop it feels exactly like I'm done.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been many years. I'm done with whatever it is. I don't need
Yeah.
anything from him, anymore. That
So,
feels.
yeah. So let's just go through this lightning dreamwork style and ask if you have a title, or what would you title this dream?
Um, I guess I would say enough.
Nice.
Hmm.
Enough. It's funny. Maybe I want to say I'm enough. That's funny. I don't know why.
Oh.
But I think I want to say I'm enough.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And reality check.
So Tim was my ex-husband, um, and the mall looks like a place that could be a mall. It didn't have any distinguishing characteristics other than just, it was a little bit dark, but
You
how a
said
mall.
it reminded you of a mall you used to go to in Long Island.
Yeah, it's kind of like the only malls I know are the ones I
Mhm.
used to go to as a kid because
Sure, sure.
um, yeah, because that's, I don't, who goes to, I don't,
You
there
don't
aren't
hang
malls.
out in the mall
I don't hang
anymore.
out in malls. But I have that feeling, it could be 2 floors maybe with some
Sure.
bunch of stores and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, um, you know, Tim doesn't, he looks, on some level, he looks like himself. When he's in his best shape, he's a little bit
Yeah.
larger than life
Yeah.
as the gay man.
Yeah.
And when I say flamboyant, he wasn't really dressed flamboyantly. He was dressed very stylishly, which is also not like him in waking life.
Mhm.
He's always kind of whatever, just ordinary dresser.
Yeah.
Uh, and so that's curious to me, the flamboyant part, the mannerisms, and that all of that.
Mm.
The whole.
Is he acting? Is he putting on a play? Because there's one part where you say he's like peeking out from this door or that door with the maniacal, and it almost seems like theater.
Right, like the smile and the frown, kind of, that this
Exactly. Yes.
thing. I mean, that is an
Popping out.
interesting hit. It doesn't feel like he's acting. It feels like
Okay.
he's just being.
Hmm.
He's probably being some aspects of myself, because I do
Sure.
tend to look at
Right.
that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like theater, even though I can see how it could be seen that way. Um, Yeah, and also curious that there's the hallway that I don't know the connecting
Yeah.
pieces. Why am I in this hallway? How did we get there? I don't know, but it does feel like the hallway or the back rooms of this mall,
I
um,
know the hallway in the mall with the payphone and the
and the bathrooms.
restrooms.
Right, right.
It's
It
always
is.
been a little
Yeah,
scary back there.
yes, it is. Right, exactly. It's a little creepy. Like, why am I here? Yeah,
Especially if there's a maniacal, So
yeah,
what,
yeah.
Dreamer, what is um your experience with like this maniacal smile? You said it reminded you of the Joker.
Yeah.
What else? Say more about that.
I want to say one other thing. He had a lot of tattoos on him, which he
Oh,
does not
okay.
did not in waking life.
Oh,
He had a lot of tattoos everywhere.
he
Um,
didn't have them? He didn't have
no,
tattoos?
he had no tattoos.
Oh, I never knew that.
What did you ask me? You
If the
asked
Joker, like what
uh,
other? Say more about that.
super creepy.
Yeah.
Super. It's like almost in my guts. Like it feels almost nauseating. Like really creepy. And I used to feel like that with the Joker when I would see the Joker on Batman when I was a kid. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like really like that scared me more than some of the more overt scary bits of that show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like such a mask. It's such a
Yeah.
mask. Like it's so not a smile, but it's
Yes.
pretending to be a smile.
Oh, boy. Did you see the movie, The Joker?
I think I did. Yes, I did. I did.
If you haven't, please
Yeah,
do.
I did. It was a
Joaquin,
while
no,
ago.
it's not
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix. One of the Phoenix brothers. He's so excellent. No, maybe it is Joaquin. It's his brother River who died. Can't
Yeah.
remember, but it is Joaquin. He was
Mhm.
masterful in that part.
Yes, I
It
did see it.
scared the pants off
Yeah.
me. So
Yes.
scary.
So scary. Like it's just the
Ah,
creepiest. Yeah.
exactly. The creepy potion. So,
So,
Andrew, feel free to.
Yeah, I mean, so how I understand dreams is that it's part of ourselves that are being experienced, and it's our projection onto these characters in our dreams. So kind of, yeah, I maybe there's a part of the dreamer that uh, that is putting on this Joker face, and God, but the tattoos and that like the maniacal grin, the mall, like it seems both like the mall feels both like familiar and also foreign at the same time. Like it's both like, oh yeah, I know this place. I've been to places like this before, but it's also it's there's like an edging onto something new, uncomfortable there. So yeah, it feels like God, trying to find the right words for it. There's a veil that we put on ourselves,
Mm,
and but you're saying enough. I think that's very critical too. So it feels like it seems like you're inviting not the veil, not the Joker face, not this separation kind of facade, but a authenticity. You're saying I'm not going to put on this Joker face. I'm going to show up authentically. So that's kind of how I'm interpreting it.
yeah, I love
that's
that.
that. Yeah. Yeah. That feels there's something, yeah, that feels right about that. And I had that thought also that like if I'm the, because I also tend to look at dreams that way where I am each part of the dream.
Gestalt.
It's my,
Mhm.
yeah, my unconscious is kind of putting some piece of myself in a character so that I can look at it as a witness from the outside.
Yeah. Oh, I
Um,
like that way of looking at it.
yeah.
And in that
And
case, it is theater, theater of the mind.
true, right. It's my own
Hmm.
theater. And I think, yeah, I think that is, we do that. I think we do that unconsciously all the time, every minute.
Hmm.
In some ways that it's some
Right.
projection or some way that we,
Right.
yeah,
Central
things.
casting. I always like that. I always look
Yeah.
at that in dreams.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. So projections. What would you project? So, all I want to say, Andrew, is that was very insightful what you said, but to keep it in the projective style, to say, if it were my dream, I
Okay.
would feel, just to keep it away from like anybody getting offended by our own projections on them.
Gotcha. Okay. If it
Yeah.
were my dream, then that's how I would be feeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, well, it's so in my version of this dream, it feels almost like this Joker figure, Tim, is kind of playing like the trickster, right? The Joker, the trickster. So in the, in other mythological ways of looking at it, it might be Coyote. He's the Joker. He is the Joker. I mean, it's literally just in case you might have missed that little dream image. He is literally the Joker, Make it very obvious. So that begs the question to me, what am I, how do I want to word this? In what ways, you may have even said this, Andrew, in what ways am I not being authentic to myself? It's just like the inverse of what Andrew was saying.
Yeah. Well, what's coming to me now is like that these characters, I mean, they're so unusual for me. Like it wouldn't
Yeah,
be the mask that I would think I'm putting on,
yeah.
but it does feel like they're masks somehow that I'm putting on. Like,
Mm,
why these particular masks? I don't know. I'd have to really dig a little deeper into that. But it does feel like, yeah, so I'm putting some kind, like, okay, so the Joker is like, yeah, I'm like pretending to be like whatever, happy or something that it's yeah, just somehow pretending to be something that's other than what's really going on inside. And I can
mhm.
absolutely see that in my waking life.
Yes,
Where
yes.
there's so much going on inside that I don't want to like necessarily project out into the world because it's not good stuff. It's not good feelings. And,
Mm,
my process is feeling a little heavy and maybe dark. So it's like, I don't want to be walking
yes.
around with that. So like I put on a smile, but it's not maniacal.
Right, right, right,
And it's
right.
not untrue that I also have a smile in me, that I also have.
Sure.
But I think that even to myself, it's like my own, it's not even about the rest of the world. It's like, what am I masking? What am I not, how am I not being, let's just use the word authentic, but like just being myself, stepping fully into like really who I am now. And I am in a transition for sure. So it doesn't surprise me that that kind of thing would come up in a dream.
And if this were my dream, what shows me that it's really a personal dream for myself and not necessarily collective
Right.
for everyone is that it's in the back mall. And again, the dark, like where the payphone is and the lavatories. I remember that mall and that hallway. So it's kind of a private side hallway. And it's not like in the middle of the action where I would think, oh, it was maybe more collective, but this feels more private.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
wanted,
It's private, but I just want to add that, I always, so it's private for me personally in my own inner process,
mhm,
but it's also, I think we can all relate to how it is that we act a certain
absolutely.
way, but it's like, wait, is this really how I want to be doing this? Like, is this really, I mean, maybe we don't all, but I
Oh,
think
I think,
us
well,
do.
I
And I
think
think
we may all, I
probably may
also.
all. And I do think that as an older woman, like going through that kind of transition where you're like, wait, I'm tired. I've been doing this work for a long time,
Yeah,
wanting to transition into something else. It just gets a little bit more in your face, the ways that you haven't necessarily been true to yourself, oneself. So I think that that's universal.
yeah. I
Anyway, you were,
believe that is also universal.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I also feel like it's just true to oneself, and like what does that mean? And that's like always the inquiry is that I personally face is what does it mean to know oneself? What does it mean to know thyself? It feels so important, and it seems to be like really a main thread behind so much of what we do. What does it mean to be authentic? And it seems to be so critical for connection, for social connection, and this like social fluidity between groups and people. And what does that mean? How is I guess what does it mean to not be authentic? And
Mm.
so how and what
Mm.
method can we do to enter more into our true self and our true path? So I feel like talking about dreams and discussing dreams is one of those ways.
Yes.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, and it's like sort of an almost an unanswerable question, who are we really? And it's one of those like you know, like endless inquiry. I'm reading a book right now called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
Oh,
And
I know that book.
yeah, it's not my favorite writing style. It's something, but anyway, I think what he says is very interesting because he really talks about that, like, how we are constantly projecting the picture and we're analyzing every single thing. Oh, that car's coming. Oh, that's a blue car. Oh, that's a, it's like instead of just like it's in and it's out and it's in and that's the like we're witnessing that flow coming in, coming out, coming. We get stuck on something, we get into a thought, and it could be something very banal, like, oh, I have a pen here and why is this pen here and it should be over there and whatever, we just kind of.
Sure.
And so it's really like the witness is the consciousness and the rest of it is just the mind. So anyway, I don't want to get, I could go on about that, but it's kind of an interesting, um, parallel inquiry about who am I? I mean, that's the main question that he's answering in this book is who am I?
That's the question of our lives, I
Yeah,
believe. I
yeah,
mean, without navel gazing, I think that's
yes, yes,
really, know thyself. Who am I? I'm finding that out. I have
yeah,
a friend who feels like there's something he needs to solve, and he doesn't. My feeling, maybe because I'm not saying it in a projective way, maybe I need to change how I talk to him, but he doesn't realize the journey, the journey is the point. The journey
Mm.
isn't to get to a
right,
goal where
right.
then, oh, no, the journey's the point. That's
Yeah,
that's the
exactly,
point.
exactly. The journey is kind of the point. The journey is the way.
The
You know,
journey is the way. Oh, I like that.
and it's
The
not easy
journey is
for
the way.
you know uh, it's not easy for us humans. It's part of the human struggle, I
It
think, is
is.
to be like,
Hmm.
because especially in this world that we're in with social media and et cetera, where everything feels like it has to be an accomplishment. And it's a place that I
Yeah.
myself get stuck, and maybe
Yeah.
that was part of the dream too, where, Tim is kind of peeking out and he's in this maniacal thing. And I'm like,
Oh.
I don't need another social media
Mhm.
person, you know,
Oh.
the other
Oh.
thing, or
Sure.
you and your sort of whatever, arrogant thinking everything. I don't need that. I don't need anyone telling me anything about how to be or how to do or what to think or what project to work on or where I should travel. It's like
Mm.
it's really all, my own inner yes or no and
Wonderful.
journey. So that's a way to tie the dream
The
into the
journey is the way.
is the way. Yeah. I mean, even though it doesn't seem like that dream is about that really, and maybe it is about many other things too, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah,
Well, I
So
really appreciate that internal yes or no.
mm,
What is my yes or no, and then what's coming from outside. That's saying, oh no, this is what you have to do, or this is what you have to present, or this is how you have to be. And it's easy to say, okay, oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Maybe I didn't really, maybe I wasn't right. You were right, and that can sway us off from that authenticity or from that trueness, that true selfness. So.
yeah, 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 totally. It's so important for us to be able to know how to do that, to be able to like get into some kind of a meditative space where we can feel something, or we hear a voice, or we however it is that we experience that kind of spark from divine, knowing. It's just,
Mhm.
and I think
mm,
that's part of the way too. That's part of the journey, is to learn how to do that, to pay the deepest attention to your own connection to divinity. And not that I'm so, good at that, but I can say it well.
Well,
I'm working still.
also, I think also it's coming up the words that are coming up from here are objective versus subjective. What is objectively there, and what's a subjective lens that is distorting a connection to what's actually there. Uh, and then also, if there really is divinity there, if there really is a divine presence there, you know, can I objectively see that, and can I objectively connect with that, and not label it, or not say, "Oh, this is great. Look at this," and all of a sudden I start painting labels on it, and it's like, no, no, it's just washing over me. This is just washing through my heart right now, and look at it do that, instead of saying, "Oh, I hope this stays. I want to keep it." No, just
Yes.
just to let it come in, and let it pass through, and heal and cleanse, and not. I would say I don't want to attach to it, too much. Anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's really important also to distinguish, in ourselves is like, yeah, is this because I want a result? I want a thing I can hold
Right.
on to. I want to know where I'm going. That's kind of how I feel. It's just someone tell me where I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Certainty. Right.
a certainty, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Predictability. I need this to be predictable. I need to be, in a package that I can understand and receive, and it's
Yeah.
good.
The
Yeah.
problem is we can't objectify spirit because spirit is not an object, you know?
Right.
That's true. Yeah. That
Right.
feels very.
So the flowing over you, as you were saying, Andrew, that's it's like water. You can't grasp it. You can't hold water. Maybe you can, yeah, you can hold an ice cube, water in a different form, but you can't hold spirit,
Hmm.
And even that melts in a matter of moments anyway.
the ice.
Right. So
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
you know,
It's
yeah.
very
Right.
ethereal and transient. It's just visiting. It's not making a permanent residency
Yeah.
wherever we are. It's
Mm,
passing through.
Yeah. So what Michael Singer talks about in this book on Untethered Soul is that, it's about literally every second, every moment, letting it come in and come out. It's exactly about what we're talking about. Like, don't attach, don't put a label on it. Don't get yourself caught up in the thought about it, because it's just that. And that thought could take us down a road the whole entire day. We can, like, something could like confuse us or confound us in a certain way or make us feel angry, and we can literally, our whole entire day, we're shut down from the, he calls it like a joy and a pleasure, like the constant input of things. It's just input, it's just input, it's just input, it's all good, it's all, I mean, not that life is all good, I don't want to be Pollyanna, but that what comes,
Mm.
observations that we make are just information, just there, and then it's not, and then it's there, and it's it. But
yeah.
it's when we get hung up. He talks about that a lot in the book.
I think that's where meditation helps us to watch the thoughts in your mind go by as clouds in the sky and or leaves on the stream, and focus inward or perhaps on whatever your meditation is taking you.
Yeah.
Mm.
So do you feel that you got what you need from this dream? Is there a way you can honor this dream in future? Mm,
Um, I think for now, I feel like complete. I want to do more exploration. Like maybe I would do some left-handed writing or something,
that's a
non-dominant,
great idea.
because I really am still curious why these particular masks are coming up. Like,
Yes.
if
Mm.
it is about my own unconscious, my own, parts
Mm,
of myself, I want to understand, like, what is that part? Why that part? I think there's something significant to that. So I might honor the dream by doing a little non-dominant hand writing on it.
yeah.
Right.
Also, we didn't talk about Jung's idea of the animus. If
Uh-huh.
Tim is representing my masculine,
Hmm.
there's always a gender unfolding that can happen when we look at
Mm,
anima and animas and male and female.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, well, thank you so much, Ellen.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your um, yeah, attention.
And Andrew, would you like to share your dream? I think we have, we have about 15 minutes.
Sure. Well, yeah, I just remember I was on a boat, and uh, it was with an old friend, and a musician friend, and he's a very serious person, and he's a music teacher, and I haven't spoken to him much lately. I've been sort of transitioning into a whole new chapter of my life, and he's from this older chapter, and he's on this. We're in the bottom of a boat. We're not in the top deck. We're in the middle deck, and there's glass, and you can see out the window, and the waves are very rocky. They're really high, and they're very um, and I get a sort of anxiety that oh my God, are we going to be okay? Is the boat going to be swallowed by the sea?
Mm.
Um, and but then it seems to just level out. It seems to be okay. And that's really all I remember. This is my dream from last night. Um, and yeah, I mean, I've transitioned so much in my life recently. So I feel like this is providing a reference for me to know that I'm my ship is my life, and my ship is my beingness. Um, and I'm on this ship, and it's rocky. There has been a lot of rockiness and a lot of change
Mhm.
lately, and I still carry connections from my previous time on this planet, and they're within my ship. They're within my vessel. They're within my being in my life. They're in my heart. Um, and as I move forward, I'm going to have some anxiety. I don't want to deny that or dismiss that or minimize that. But I want to witness it. You know, I'm witnessing it like it's out the window. I'm protected in my ship. Um, I'm I think it might have even been raining. It was kind of like a day just like this, actually, kind of cloudy and like there's something. It might just start to pour outside.
Mm.
But I'm shielded by the oncoming rain and storm. And I have a ability to witness, and then I'm carrying with me connections from my past with me. So I suppose that's my
Yeah.
feeling of
This is
yeah.
the blessing and curse of being a dream worker is that you're working on your dream even while you're still in your dream or right after waking up. Oh, and he symbolizes my past. And so I'm bringing, it's like
Right.
you have it
Yeah.
all.
You've already got the dream figured out. Okay, have a nice day. See you next
Okay.
week.
Oh.
Andrew, I agree.
Good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. But
How
well,
did
yeah.
you feel? How did you feel when you woke up from the stream?
My morning was well. I just bought a new tarot card deck.
Hmm.
Um, it's called this Insight Tarot, and it's inspired by Carl Jung, the writers from Carl Jung. So it's been I was a little kind of melty, a feeling of a melty feeling.
Hmm.
Melty meaning oh yeah, like a little bit of an anxiety there, you know.
Hmm.
And then I was working with the cards, and then there was more of a sense of trust and moving forward and a welcoming in of the adventure that's to come. But there was a process there. There was a process of like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Is everything going to be okay? And then, tuning into myself. So I started to feel grounded. So it was this kind of a little bit of anxiety that kind of transitioned to being grounded. Yeah.
But is that how you felt like from the I think what Yiska's asking and I guess what I'll ask is how did you feel when you woke up from the dream? Not so much I appreciate the process, but I'm
Okay.
curious because sometimes that's it's really it's very telling how
Yeah.
we what because we may the dream might you can analyze the dream. You're clearly very like emotionally smart and have a lot of, depth and, ability to kind of look at all that stuff. But sometimes it's like surprising. Like maybe it doesn't mean that, like when you
Okay.
wake up, like, did you have like a feeling when you first woke up?
Oh, my dog, Frodo woke me up. He barked, and I was like so tired. I was almost like in the middle of my
Mm.
sleep. So he had to go outside.
Uh,
So it was a sort of, I was just drowsy and God, I don't know what the feeling
like
was.
emotional, like was it anxiety or
You did say anxious.
you said anxiety like as a process later on, but I just wasn't sure if that was like
Mm.
how the dream made you feel is
How
the
the
question.
dream made me feel.
If
Um,
that's a
I
good
know
one.
I feel like I had so many more dreams too, and that's just like the one little piece that I
Yeah,
recovered from it.
that was a
Um,
good piece to recover.
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just trying to remember that one, that
Yeah,
was like,
that
um, I would say, yeah, a little bit of, uh, mm, yeah, I would say like a little bit of a shakiness, but also a reassuredness. There's both reassuredness and a little bit of a shakiness, like I was on a boat that was on a choppy sea.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If it were my dream, I would feel good that I can, there's even a word, I can weather these waves or whatever. I don't think that's the
Mm,
thing, but I can weather this, that I'm fine. There's like a lot of crazy going on around me in my
mhm.
life and outside of my life, if my life is my boat. And I can weather the storm. I guess that's the expression. I can weather this storm. Is it stormy in the dream?
Um, it was it was the sun was behind. It was during the daytime. The sun was
Okay.
behind the cloud, so it
Okay.
was both. It was cloudy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm having like a curiosity about the fact that you were in the middle level of the boat. So I
Okay.
guess I look at vehicles as like the way I'm moving through life. So whether it's a car,
mm,
bicycle, or a train,
mhm.
that's my projection. I don't. There's no real symbolism. I mean, there probably is, but I don't go for that symbolism.
You and Jeremy Taylor both
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, sometimes there is in my own experience, like water does tend to be about emotion,
emotion.
but I
Yeah.
don't, it's not like written in the book kind of
Sure.
thing. But in my projection here, if this were my dream, I would be curious about the fact that I'm kind of in this middle ground. I'm not like above it or in the deepest level of my unconscious with it, the dark
Yeah. Okay.
place. I'm in the place where I can kind of mostly kind of see things. Maybe
Hmm.
there's another level to go. And it does feel for me, it feels like I'm on, and in the sea feels emotional to me. It feels like, whoa, like I'm going to be okay because I'm here. I can kind of see things and um, feel things on this kind of level of the middle ground. And there's no judgment of bad and good in my feeling of it. But I'm curious to see if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, that really resonates a lot, because there's been so much sort of loss and newness at the same time. So it's almost like I haven't been processing all these emotions that are there. But there's so much that's been experienced, that's having an effect, I think, on my unconscious body. Um, but yeah, that really resonates though, as far as just being on this ocean of emotions.
Mm,
Yeah,
I like that.
and sort of being almost closed off to it a little bit.
Mm.
I can see them. I can like almost maybe there's an intellectualization of these emotions, but there's not like I'm not diving into the ocean.
You're not
I'm
really feeling the feelings. You're not feeling the feelings. You're seeing them and recognizing them, but maybe there's this a way in which.
You're
I mean, I guess I'm
intellectually,
asking you. I don't mean to be saying.
perhaps, right,
I'm asking
yeah.
you
perhaps
to say.
intellectually being and understanding the feelings, but not necessarily letting them into my heart.
Yeah, and there's, I think that there's fear there. Like there is a level of fear where it's like, oh, I'm on this really these waves are getting high. Like, thank goodness I'm protected by this ship.
Yeah, I love that. You're feeling
Wow.
protected. My
Y-
question is, who is captaining this ship?
Hmm.
Wow. That's a really good question. It's not wow. Okay, that's a really nice question. Thank you for asking that. Um, you know, it's not me. Like, I'm not the one who's captaining it. And maybe that's where the anxiety is coming from, because I have to get to the steering wheel. I have to get to the helm.
Mm,
Uh, and I'm just spending time with my people from my past, people who aren't really quite in my life right now,
mm.
and feeling into them. And I have to get onto the wheel of the
Yes.
ship and take hold.
Yes. Oh, I feel that so strongly.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, asking that question.
That is a great question. Yeah.
Yeah. That could, well, you were talking about vehicles, and it's always important to see who's driving.
Drive exactly.
If
And
I'm on a boat.
you and I, Yiskah and I have had many, many dreams
Why
sharing.
are you the passenger? Oh,
Back, you're in the front, you're driving, you're going backwards. Yeah.
exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Um,
what
yeah.
action can you take? Yeah, I see you're feeling really wowed, and that's excellent that that the stream's grabbing your attention. So what can you do to honor the stream, or what action can you take to bring what you've been learning from the stream forward?
I would say to have the intention um, to embody being the captain of the ship,
Mm,
and to not like leave it to, I guess, uh, my past to guide it, because
mm.
this person, I feel like they symbolize my past. I don't spend time with them now. I used to spend a decent amount of time with them years ago.
Hey,
Um, so to go back, actually, to go to the top of the deck and to be exposed to the rain, and to not be looking at the water through a window, but to look at it, within the fresh air, within the actual atmosphere.
and to be the one who has to keep all the passengers inside safe, even with these wild waves. I'm the captain. That means I'm having to navigate the safety of this vessel.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that resonates. And also, I do things where I go out into the world and I spend time with people, and like my actions can affect people. And it's not just my own personal journey. Like, my journey is shared with others in mutual experiences, where I am more towards the front of the line, and I am leading. I'm one of the leaders often.
Mm.
So I have to, you know, I suppose, yeah, be decisive, make a decision, and know when it's time to make a decision.
Mm.
So I know what that means to be able to make a decision, So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Very powerful imagery. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for asking that question about the captain.
Sure. So, is there anything else that either dreamer wants to say?
I know that we really don't have much time, but maybe next time I'd love to get to something of yours, because I know you had that snippet, which we could probably
But
spend.
it was we could have talked for hours on it, but it had no
How
no
snippets are.
feeling to me to like go into it. But thank you. Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we're a dream group, then we're gonna get together
Yes. So
Thursdays,
Thursdays at 12:30
12:30.
Eastern time.
12:30 is good for me.
Does that work? Yeah. And if it doesn't, we'll communicate with one another, obviously.
Sounds great. Thank you both so much. And thank you, listeners, for joining us. We hope you got something out of it. Holamod Metukin.
Sweet dreams, everyone.